Let's learn how to play Charizard Ex with Pidgeot Ex. In this video, we're going to go over the deck list, explanation of the cards, some test hand, and gameplay on Pokemon TCG Live. And if you guys are new here, hi, my name is Win, also known as Royal Illis. We do a lot of Pokemon TCG content here on this channel, so if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Anyways, let's start off with the deck list. I'll also have the timestamp right down below if you want to skip around the video. For the Pokemon, we have 4 Charmander, 2 Charmeleon, running 1 100 HP one, and 1 90 HP. 3 Charizard EX, 2 Pidgey, 2 Pidgeotto, 2 Pidgeot EX, 1 Chi-Yu, 1 Cleffa, 1 Munkidori, and 1 Fezandipiti EX. For the supporter, we have 3 Arven, 3 Iono, 3 Boss's Order, 2 Brock Scouting, and 1 Professor Turo Scenario. For the items, we have 4 Buddy-Buddy Poffin, 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Rare Candy, 2 Counter Catcher, 2 Super Rod, 1 Energy Search, 2 TM Evolution, and 1 Maximum Bell. For the Stadium, we have 2 Artisan. For the energies, we have 1 Mist, 1 Luminous, 1 Dark, and 5 Fire Energy. And here's an overview of the deck. Now let's go over every single card and why it's in here. Let's start off with the Pokemon. First off, we have Charmander, which will evolve into our main attacker. We want to make sure we have the 70 HP Charmander. That way we don't get knocked out by Dragapult EX second attack, Phantom Dive, which can put 6 damage counters anywhere they want. Next we have Charmeleon, running 1 100 HP one and a 90 HP one with the ability Flare Veil. We're running the one with the ability to protect ourselves from cards like TM Devo, once again Dragapult EX second attack, Phantom Dive, that can put 6 damage counters anywhere, but with the ability, they won't be able to. But we're also running 1 100 HP Charmeleon as well. We're running this one because 1, it has 10 more HP, and second, it doesn't have ability, which is good against deck like Marnie Grimmsnarl, where they run Frostlass, so the damage counters can start ticking on your Charmeleon with ability. Next we have Charizard EX. This will be your main attacker of the deck. Let's start off with the attack. For 2 Fire Energy, it does 180 damage, and the attack does 30 more damage for each prize card your opponent has taken, so it gets more powerful the later it gets in the game. And now let's talk about the ability. This is the main reason why Charizard is so good. It can accelerate energy into itself. The ability states, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve, you may search your deck for up to 3 basic Fire Energy and attach them to any of your Pokemon in any way you like. So it can accelerate energy into itself plus 1 more. And the reason it's so good is because you can accelerate to any Pokemon. It doesn't have to be just like Dark type, Fire type, no, any Pokemon. Next we have Pidgey. We're running the 60 HP one instead of a 50 HP, because if we're running the 50 HP, it can be easily knocked out by a Dusclops. We're running the Pidgeotto from 151, just because it has a free retreat cost. Next we have Pidgeot EX. If you don't know this card by now, it is busted. It's mainly in this deck for the ability, which states, once you're in your turn, you may search your deck for a card and put it into your hand, but you can't use more than 1 quick search ability each turn. You can literally get any card you want, so this card is really busted. Next we have Chi-Yu, our single prize attacker. We're mainly going to be using the second attack. For 2 Fire Energy, it does 50 damage, but if any of your Pokemon were knocked out by damage from an attack during your opponent's last turn, this attack does 90 more. Doing 140 for a single prize attacker is very good. Plus it's a Fire type, so cards in the meta like Goldango EX and Teal Masquerapon EX are weak to fighting, therefore your Chi-Yu can one-shot them. Next we have Cleffa. This will be your supporting draw Pokemon. You might be using this card a lot your first turn going second, because the attack costs no energy to attack, and it lets you draw until you have 7 cards in your hand. It's always nice to see more cards in your deck. Next we have Munkidori. It's mainly in here for the ability, which states, once you're in your turn, if this Pokemon has any dark energy attached, you may move up to 3 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to your opponent's Pokemon. It's mainly there for the Dragapult matchup, but since Charizard is 330 HP, most Pokemon can't really knock it out in one shot, so it's not a bad idea to remove some damage off of him. And sometimes we can also attack with Munkidori as well, since we're running 1 Luminous Energy. The attack costs 1 Psychic and 1 Colorless. It does 60 damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. And last but not least, we have Fezandipiti EX, which is also mainly there for the ability, which states, once you're in your turn, if any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you may draw 3 cards. And since his attack costs 3 colorless energy, sometimes we can use it to attack, but it doesn't come off as often. The attack does 100 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. On to the supporters now, which is not a lot, pretty simple. First off, we have Arven. This card lets you search your deck for an item card and a tool card and add it to your hand. Majority of the time you want to see this card your first turn, because getting TM Evolution in this deck is pretty important, but we'll talk more about that later. Next we have Iono. This card lets you draw and disrupt your opponent's hand, because each player shuffle their hand and put it onto the bottom of the deck, and both players draw a card for each of their remaining prize cards. Really good to disrupt your opponent late game. Boss's Order lets you switch from your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active. This card often wins you the game. You can search this with Pidgeot EX. Next we have Brock Scouting. This card lets you search your deck for 2 basic Pokemon or 1 evolution Pokemon and add them to your hand. This card is basically there in case you get item locked by Badu or even Jellicent EX now. And lastly we have Professor Turo Scenario, which lets you put one of your Pokemon in play back into your hand, but you have to discard all cards attached to that Pokemon. This card is really important against cards like Wellspring Lurpon and Maractus, where both of them has attack that won't let you retreat. Or if your opponent didn't knock out your Charizard EX, you can always bring it back, wasting your opponent's last turn. On to the items now. Often lets you search your deck for 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or lower and add them to the bench. Really important card to get out these Pokemon so you can set up your board. Ultra Ball lets you search your deck for any Pokemon and add it to your hand, but you have to discard 2 cards. Rare Candy lets you script Evolution, so you can go from Charmander all the way to Charizard EX as long as you have Rare Candy. And of course, the Charmander has to be in play for 1 turn. Counter Catcher is similar to Boss's Order, but it's an item card. It lets you switch your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active, but you have to have more prizes prizes than your opponent. Super Raw lets you shuffle up to 3 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy card from your discard pile back into your hand. Good to recycle your energy and your important attackers. Energy Search lets you search your deck for 1 basic energy card and add it to your hand. Like I said earlier in the video, we usually want to use TM Evo, so we need that energy. That's just why it's here. Speaking of TM Evolution, this is a tool that you can attach to one of your Pokemon. And you can use the attack on this card with the required energy, of course, and you have to discard the tool at the end of your turn, even if you didn't use it. But attack for this one costs 1 energy, and it lets you do 2 of your bench Pokemon. And for each of those Pokemon, you can search your deck for a card that evolves into that Pokemon, and put it onto that Pokemon to evolve it. We'll show an example of this in the test hands. And lastly, for the items, we have Maximum Belt, which is also a tool card. Attack used by the Pokemon this card is attached to does 50 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon's EX. This makes it so Charizard EX can do a lot of damage to knock out anything. Moving on to the stadium, we have Arven, which once per turn lets you search your deck for a basic Pokemon card that does not have a rule box and put it onto the bench. Once again, if we get item locked, the stadium is very important. Moving on to the energies now. Miss Energy prevents all effects of attack used by your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon that is attached to. This is similar to a 90 HP Charmeleon's ability. Basically, it protects you from cards like TM Devo and Dragapult's second attack, Phantom Dive. Next, we have the 1 Luminous Energy, which states, as long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides every type of energy but only 1 at a time. But if the Pokemon has any special energy attached, this only provides a colorless energy. This is basically there so that way we can attack with Munkidori like I said earlier. Because technically this also counts as Dark, so you can use the ability as well. And speaking of Dark, we're running 1 normal Dark as well, just for the Munkidori's ability. And that is all the cards in the deck. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know in the comments. Before we jump into the next section, I just want to give a big thank you to my channel members. You guys are so awesome. If you want to become a channel member and get some extra perks, make sure you click on the join button right down here below. Alright, moving on to test hands. We're going to have one for going first and one for going second. For this deck, we want to go second. Jumping into our first test hand, this will be for going first, which like I said earlier, we want to go second with this deck. But let's see what we can do with a going first hand, and I kind of show you guys how to set up. Honestly, it's not much to do for going first, so maybe we'll actually take 2 turns for this. So we'll be going first, turn 1 and turn 2. So let's shuffle 1 last time, and then 1 more. Let's ask our opponent if they'd like to cut our tap, and we're gonna pretend to be our opponent and cut our deck. Let's draw our 7 cards. We got 4, 3. So we have a basic. We do have a basic, and we have a Evo in our hand, which is pretty good for going second. But for this hand, it's not the best for going first. So let's see what we can do from here. Let's do our 6 prizes to the left here, and then let's start our turn. So we draw for turn. Still not much that we can do. We do have 2 bosses in hand. So in my opinion, I will probably actually get rid. This is a very tough choice, but I think I'm gonna get rid of. I might even just get rid of the 2 bosses. It's very bad that we have to get rid of 2 bosses, but I think getting these 2 bosses out of the way might be pretty useful. So we're gonna get rid of that. And honestly, it's either Pidgey or Cleffa. For the sake of the video, we're gonna do quick prize check so I don't waste your guys' time. So we did prize our ace spec, but that's okay. So let's place that down. And I think I might just get a Cleffa here, because our hand is pretty dead. Next turn, we're not gonna do much. So I think Cleffa is probably the move. And then we're just gonna attach here. Honestly, maybe it's not Cleffa, because we do have Iono. So I'm actually just gonna get Pidgey, because we do have Iono. And if our opponent Ionos us for some reason, that's okay too, because we can always get Cleffa out next turn. And let's shuffle our deck, pretend to cut as our opponent. And then that's all we can do. We're just gonna pass. And then let's pretend like our opponent can't knock us out. They're probably playing like Dragapult. They're playing a Mirror or Goldango. They haven't evolved yet. So we draw. We got another Charizard, which is not what we were really looking for. So I am gonna attach this TM Evo here, and we're gonna Iono and hopefully hit a Poffin. So that way we can start evolving our Pokemon and getting ready for the next turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pretty good. So we can actually evolve this right away, and then we're gonna use the Buddy Poffin here to get out more Charmanders. That way we can have our board fully set up. So we get our 2 Charmander, and then I'm actually gonna put this Pidgey down, just in case for some reason our opponent can knock out our other Pidgey. but I'm actually gonna attach this Mist Energy here, because why not? Prevent our opponent from devoing us or putting damage onto our Pidgeot. And now we're gonna use TM Evolution, which is an attack that costs 1 energy. We're gonna target 1 Charmander and 1 Pidgeotto, which evolves into Pidgeot EX, so we can use it for next turn to get whatever card we need. So that was a pretty good Iono. So we evolve this here, and then let's get our Charmeleon. Let's see which one we get. Depending on the matchup, for this, let's pretend like we're going against Dragapult, so I'm gonna get this one to keep that safe. And that is a pretty good first 2 turns. Let's see what else we can do in our hand before. Yeah, that's kind of it. I already TM Evo, what am I saying? But yeah, that is it for going first and the second turn as well. Moving on to our second test hand, this will be for going second, which is your preferred way to start this deck. We want to go second just because we can use a supporter that can search out Buddy Poffin to set up our board more and hit the TM Evolution, which we can evolve our Pokemon right away if we do have an energy in the active Pokemon, of course. All right, we shuffle our deck, offer our opponent if they want to cut or tap, pretend to be our opponent. Let's draw our 7 here. We got 4, we got 3. And we start with a Charmander and a Evo in our hand and an energy, so pretty good. So judging from our hand, we might have to Iono from this situation. All right, let's start our turn for going second. And I'm going to probably do this, attach these 2 here, and we Iono and just pray here. So we Iono, shuffle our hand, place it on the bottom of the deck, and we draw however many prize cards we have. So 2, 2, 2. Hopefully we hit some Pokemon. We do hit an Arven and an Ultra Ball, and the Pidgeys are in our hand. So this is pretty good. Pretty good start for sure. We're gonna do this. And I'm gonna use the Arzon. And since we're using Arzon, for the sake of the time, let's prize check again. We did prize 1 Pidgeotto and 1 Charmander, so not too bad. So let's shuffle that. And then let's get out a Charmander. And then there's not much we can do. Honestly, I'm probably gonna save these 2 other cards. Ultra Ball can get us Pidgeotto next turn, and then Brock Scouting can also get us like Charmander, or even Arven can get out Rare Candy. So we're just gonna, pretty simple turn, go ahead and evolve, or use TM Evolution to evolve these 2, which will turn it into where's our 1 Pidgeotto that didn't get prize. So Pidgeotto, and then for this turn, let's just use the 100 HP Charmeleon just in case our opponent has something that can knock out a 90 HP Pokemon. And that is basically it for our turn. If for our next turn we can, like I said, we have ways to get out a Pidgeot EX or even a Charmander right away, but most of the time we're probably just going to use this Ultra Ball to get out our Pidgeot EX, and then we can even use Brock Scouting to get our Zard if we needed to, or use Pidgeot's ability. There's plenty of things that we can do next turn, and that is it for going second, our first turn.
Now let's check out gameplay on Pokemon TCG Live.
As we jump into our gameplay here, if you guys are still around, make sure you smash that like button. It really does help the YouTube algorithm out. And we did choose heads and we lost, therefore we cannot choose if we go first or second. So hopefully our opponent decides to go first for some reason. Okay, they did this. Oh no, they're making us go first, which is fine. Everything is fine. And we start with only a Pidgey. Fortunately, that's all we can do. So let's see what we're up against. Judging by the Eevee sleeves, it might be an Eevee box. Who knows? And it looks like it is an Eevee box. And we top deck an Ultra Ball, which is not bad. I think I'm going to get rid of probably just 1 Arven, 1 Iono. We don't need 2 of that in our hand at the moment. Just to get 1 Charmander. And I don't know if I want to attach or not. Maybe I do, just in case I want to retreat next turn. Or we get like Iono. Yeah, let's just do it. Not sure if that's the right call, but
Or everything we can also do 20. But the thing is, I'm scared that they're gonna use Fan Rotom to attack this Pidgey. So that's why I didn't want to attach the energy, but we'll see what they have. Okay, Nest Ball's coming down, which I'm guessing the Fan Rotom's coming out, which it is. Okay. Which is good. If they're gonna get their Noctiles here, we can just Iono their Noctile away. They won't have much in their hand. Okay, I got a Eevee, a Hoot, and one Noctile. So they have two Hoot set up with one Noctile in hand. So when we do Iono, that means one of them will be in the bottom, but they do run multiple Noctile. Oh, they're using the colorful friend attack, which lets you search for 3 Pokemon with different types. So that will also get shuffled back into the bottom of the deck, which is pretty good in my opinion. Okay, Leafeon, Flareon, Eevee. So they do run Leafeon, which means they can one-shot our Zard. Oh, top deck Buddy Poffin, which is pretty good. I'm gonna get a Charmander and probably just a Cleffa. Because if anything, we just retreat and draw some more after we Iono here. I don't think they're gonna kill our Pidgey anytime soon. As long as we retreat. Okay, and we have Rare Candy into Zard, which I think I'm just gonna go for it. Because why not? So we're gonna accelerate just 2 energy. I'm gonna keep the rest in our deck because we do have another Charmander set up. We don't want to put all the energies away. I'm gonna get one more Pidgey and another Charmander here, just in case they somehow just boss up my Pidgey. But we do know the Leafeon's on the bottom of the deck. They have no Terra Pokemon right now. We do get to evolve. Our hand's kind of dead. There's a world where we don't attack, so that they cannot activate their Fez. But I just know one Noctile is on the bottom of the deck, so we're just hoping for the best. And they don't have any Terra Pokemon at the moment. The Flareon was also in the bottom of the deck as well. And I forgot what the third Pokemon was. Okay, they're promoting up the Eevee that can evolve, so they might have a Flareon in their hand. This would be really bad if they just one-shot our Zard here and we lose. Ooh, they have the Latios down. Okay, another Hoot. I don't think they have anything. But they did shuffle their deck, which means all their cards got randomized again. So their Flareon and Leafeon is not on the bottom anymore. But they did Iono, which means they can't attack since they don't have a Crispin. And our hand's kind of dead here. Yeah, they got the Leafeon, but they can attach and do like 120. But I know next turn our Zard's going bye-bye. Okay, they're using their one Noctile now. But they're already Iono, which means they can't Crispin. Maybe they're just gonna get like an Earthen Vessel. Another Ultra Ball for Noctile next turn. They got Counter Catcher and Switch. So I'm guessing they're gonna counter catcher something up so that way I have to waste the energy retreat, and hopefully I don't have that energy. And I'm guessing the switch is just a switch to a different Pokemon. But they already attached return and they have no stadium, so they can't knock me out. Okay, I wish we have a Pidgeot Ex. But we do have a boss. I'm just gonna boss up the Latias EX here, just because our hand is kind of dead and I kind of want to get more prizes and hopefully get something out of it. I wish we have more bench space. I would like to set up a Chi-Yu here. Okay, please give me something good, like a supporter. Okay, we got Pidgeot Ex. Very good, very good, very good. So we should still be able to attack next turn. But this Leafeon's gonna knock out my Zard for sure. Okay, they're Ultra Balling for Noctile. I wonder, they might Iono us. We might get Iono to 3 here, which is really bad. Because we would have absolutely nothing. But we can always just Cleffa if needed. Keep our board kind of one prize. Okay, they got a Crispin, so no Iono happening here. And they got another Eevee down. So they can set up the Eevee in the bench as well. Okay, yeah, our Charizard is going down. The second attack of Leafeon does 230, which means it's 460, which is for sure knocking out my Zard. Alright, the gameplay here. Let's just put up Pidgeotto, which has a free retreat before we do anything. We got Arven. Okay, so we can actually knock out this Leafeon. Let me deck check real quick. So we have Rare Candy. We do have Maximum Belt. So with the Maximum Belt, we should be able to do it. But we do need a Super Rod here in order to recycle these energies. We can get Chi-Yu. We can actually attack with Chi-Yu actually. Yeah, but we do need a Super Rod. But we can, yeah, we'll do Rare Candy and Maximum Belt here, and then we use Pidgeot's Quick Search ability for the Super Rod to get the energy we need. So we're gonna Super Rod. Our Super Rod, probably just all the energies. We have 4 in here, I believe. Yeah, let's do all energy. We Rare Candy our Charizard, or our Charmander, which skips the evolution. So we go straight into Charizard, and then Charizard's ability activates when we evolve from our hand to accelerate 3 energies. So we're gonna get all 3. We're gonna power up our Zard plus our Chi-Yu. And then we're gonna attach to the Chi-Yu. And now we attack with a 1 prizer, making them force them to kind of boss up a 2 prizer. And if they decide to attack and knock out my Charizard, I still have Chi-Yu that still does 160. That can knock out any 1 prizer with a simple Pidgeot Quick Search to get a boss. Or with the Maximum Belt, we actually do 210. Okay, there's a Flareon coming down, which means no Leafeon, which means we just win here if they just attack. Okay, I'm guessing they're just gonna Iono. Probably Iono and like, I'm not even sure, Nest Ball. Well, they're doing a Super Rod and a Buddy Poffin. I'm guessing they have no more energies. Did they not see me grab the Maximum Belt when I Arven? Oh, there's a surrender. GG to my opponent. I hope the gameplay kind of helps you guys out, kind of understand how the deck works.
And that is it for this deck guide. If you want to see more deck guides, make sure you guys check out this playlist right here. If not, check out my other videos right here. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Whoosh.